Alright, I'm going to make this video really quick. I just filmed the Waaagh Ghazghkull, so it's going to be a precursor, so stay tuned and you'll hear all about the supplement. But this is just kind of, people haven't really thought about this, and in the new 7th edition rules, it says you can take as many detachments as you want, and there's no restriction to that. And so with the Ork Codex, we have the Ork Horde detachment, but there's also the Battleforge detachment, the Combined Arms detachment. Okay, and then there's also the Allied detachment, and then there's the Ghazghkull Woged detachment as well. And so there's like 4 different detachments you can take, but it doesn't say how many instances you can take. So you can take multiple instances of the same detachment. You just have to meet the minimum requirements of all of them, and you have to choose one of them as your primary, and that will have your Warlord. But other than that, you can take as many detachments as you want. And now with the formations are a special type of detachment. So you can take all those detachments I just mentioned and all the formations I just mentioned in the same army, as long as they meet the points limit, the point requirements, obviously don't go over, and as long as one of them is your primary and has your Warlord. Other than that, the formations are legal detachments of Battleforged armies, and you can bring as many instances or whatever as you want, as long as obviously characters aren't reused, and as explained, like, you can't be parts of multiple detachments, you only be part of the one. And so it's actually, when you think about it, it's pretty simple, but it's, when you come upon it, you're like, whoa. And I think most people already know this, but for those who don't, there it is. So any formation that I mentioned, any detachment I can mention, you can take multiple instances of them as long as they don't require a character in it. And then you just bring other detachments as much as you want. So you can just bring minimum of stuff to abuse the Force Org and get tons more elite choices, tons more heavy support choices, and just have fun with it. So, enjoy. Ghazghkull. So, turns out there's a supplement, and everyone's like, it's so much cooler and better and cool, and you know, not the easiest price point to get over, but once you do, it is actually really cool, and it is a great little supplement for the orcs. And it's annoying that Games Workshop does this and makes you pay all the extra monies, but past that, let's look at the actual content. Alright, so I just got a digital copy, so I just gonna be looking like this. Okay, so when you use the formations, it has its own Force Org, and then it has a bunch of formations. And so when you use it, there are 3 general rules that it has. One is biggest and the best, and it's the Warlord, basically, of the detachment or formation. And if your Warlord has a special rule, he must always issue and accept challenges whenever possible. So he's a Chaos Orc. Chaos Orc. Total Warcraft 3 reference right there. And if you have more than one model in combat, is it possible to have more than one Warlord? Anyways. Doesn't make any sense. This is if you have multiple people in a combat with a special rule, you can do it. So maybe there's, in the future, I don't know. Anyways, let's move on. If you kill an enemy character during a challenge, you re-roll all failed to wound in close combat for the rest of the game. That's pretty good, because your Warlord is most likely going to be wounding on 2s. So just assuring, basically, that, you know, instead of a 1 in 6 chance, it's a 1 in 36 chance that you don't wound. So it's a lot better. It's a lot better. Good times. So fun times, the biggest and the best. Then there's the boss is watching. So I don't even know how I feel about this rule, because in the mob rule, right? So either you roll a 1 and either you're in combat and you pass or you fail. And then you roll a 2 or 3, and then either you have a character and you take the d6 strength 4 AP nothing hits, or you fail. Or it's 4, 5, or 6, and either you have 10 or more models in the unit, or you fail. And you take the d6 hits, right? And so, with the bosses watching, if anybody from the detachment or formation gets a +2 modifier onto any rolls in the mob rule table. Which basically means that you never get the 1, and only if you roll a 1 do you get like the character 1. Which basically means you always have to have 10 or more guys in the squad. Which brings it more to the original mob rule. Except that, I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about it. And then you take D3 plus 3, strength 4 hits. So just on average you're taking more hits. You're taking 4 to 5 hits instead of 3 to 4 hits. On the failed whatever rule. But whatever. I really don't understand why. It's like makes the mob rule worse almost. I think. Maybe. Who knows? Then you get Archimedes custom gubbins. So, any units from the detachment that you can usually select Gifts of Gork and Mork, but they're in the Ghazghkull supplement, in a formation or whatever, then you can take new, you actually have to take new Gifts of Gork and Mork. There's a whole different set of them. So that's pretty sweet. And they're good. We'll get to those. And so, yeah, that's that. So more gifts to have fun and be crazy with. So that's great. Warlord Traits. So you get new Warlord Traits as well. So you have to roll on those instead. You may choose to roll on these instead of the original one. So either you're a super shootist and your Warlord has a Blitz skill 3. So could be good. Meh. Waagmongerer. You get the Crusader special rule along with your unit. So be able to basically it's a reroll on your run. You roll 2 dice and you take the highest on your run rolls, which is again very powerful with the Waaagh stuff. So that's great. There's Mad Boy. The Warlord has a Rage special rule, so just more attacks, more fun times. A Cunning Plan. Warlord and the unit he joins get outflank. That could be fun. That could be really fun. Calling in a favor. Nominate one weapon called by your carried by your Warlord. That weapon has the Master Crafted special rule, but it can't be applied to any of the Archimedes custom gubbins. Can't be applied to any of the Gifts of Gork and Mork. Sad, but meh, that's okay. Or Deadard, you get the Feel No Pain special rule. Whoopee! That's actually not bad. I thought Feel No Pain is good. All right. So those are the Warlord Traits, all that stuff. Alright, let's go to the custom gubbins. Okay, these are great. So, in the original rulebook, which I have right here, there's your special Killer Axe thing that's 20 points. And it's kind of about taking because, I mean, it's good, but it's not that good. Where are you? You're somewhere. There you are. So it's a big chop, +2 strength, AP 5, melee, decapitating strike, which is like killing blow, and then rendering, rending. What I'll be doing after I finish. Rending and two-handed. So the new is the Choppa of the Ragnarok. Also 20 points. But you get +2 strength, AP 5. It's two-handed, melee. Same thing, you lose rending and you lose decapitating strike, but you get Grand Destiny. This is amazing. This is like, you replace your Power Claw with this on your Warbot. I didn't think it was possible to have something better than the Power Claw, but it is. It is, I tell you, and this is why. Grand Destiny is a special rule, which is every time you inflict one or more casualties in an assault phase, you get +1 to the strength modifier, so instead of strength +2, it's strength +3, and your AP is lowered by 1 on the weapon. So one assault phase of, you're gonna kill something, okay? One assault, you just throw them in some like units, one assault phase, done, your strength, well, you're normally strength 6 or strength 5, right? So you go strength 7, you're strength 8 base and AP 4 on your weapon. Then during their combat, when you fight again, then you go to strength 9 and your AP 3. And then it finally caps out at +6 strength and AP 1. But I mean, it takes a little bit to get going and you have to fight the right things, but potentially is just this is the ultimate weapon. You just got to get it going. You got to get started. But I love the idea of it. You're like, oh, don't let my war boss kill you, because then he'll kill you more. Then there's also the big boss pull, and this is annoying because you have to like choose one of these, right? You can only have one per model, right? So big boss pull, 20 points, but it's worth it because everyone has fearless. That's in the unit with the big boss pull, so that's fantastic, super good. There's the super cyborg. That's 50 points. It's really expensive. It gives you feel no pain, 5+, eternal warrior, and relentless. I mean, giving that to like a big mech with a shock attack gun could be funny. You like run them around with a squad of flash gits or something. Ooh, I like that. So the flash gits are running around shooting stuff, and then you're just shooting your shock attack gun the whole time because you have relentless. So you're just like, yes. But other than that, I don't see. It's just 50 points for basically feel no pain. Sure, you get eternal warrior. But relentless, no one else is taking weapons that relentless would be useful for. And feel no pain is great on your boss, but not for 50 points. That's mighty expensive. And eternal warrior is also always great, but again, we only have 2 to 3 wounds each, so there's the Kill a Claw, which is dead killy. It's okay, so it's basically a power claw. It's 40 points. It's getting expensive. Specialist weapon, unwieldy. So yeah, it's just exactly the same as a power claw, except that you can when you attack, you can choose to instead make only one attack, but it has a killing blow special rule. So if you're facing those big creatures or big models that don't have immunity, don't have eternal warrior, then you just do that one swipe that hopefully will hit, hopefully will kill. And it's pretty cool. So it has that diversity of being able to one swipe those major bit guys or attack normally with lots of other guys. But 40 points, kind of steep, but potentially really cool. The Mega Force Field. This is 75 points. These things are getting expensive. But you only bring on the big mech. Okay? And this is a custom force field. This is exactly the same as the other custom force field. But you get a 4-up instead of a 5-up. Pretty fancy, right? It's mighty fancy. Yes. If you're bringing more of a list with lots of mech units, like Stompas. I mean, not so much Stompas. But like the Gorkanauts and the Killicans and Death Dreads and all that stuff. Giving all of them a 4-up, it's like going back. It's like going way back to the original custom force field, which was great. It was fantastic. I mean, it didn't make us immune. We still died a lot, but it just made us a lot stronger. So, but again, it's only within 6 inches. And if you embark them on something, then only that vehicle gets it. So, but still, potential there, potential. Then there's Ghazghkull. This is my favorite one by far. This is hilarious. It's 30 points, so not too bad. But you roll a d6 every time you shoot. And either you get a heavy 24-inch strength 7 AP4 heavy D3+1 weapon, or you get a template Bernie, like a burner weapon. It's okay, no, I'll read it. You either get heavy, burny, shooty, zappy, blasty, or bubbly. Those are the effects of your weapon. So you can kind of guess what it's having. The heavy is the heavy D3+1. The template is a Scorcha, basically. The Shooter is strength 6 AP4 assault 3, so that's pretty fantastic. Zappy is the zap gun. Blasty is a strength 6 AP5 blast, which is decent. And then bubbly is just the bubble gun, large blast. It doesn't get the barrage or whatever, but it's D6 strength and AP. So potential lots of fun there. I think more for narrative stuff, but who knows? To kill Ghazghkull on your war boss, it could be fun. Could be fun, especially if you give him or you get the +1 blessed skill on him. But again, you can't tell. You can't arrange these things. It's like good combos, but not reliable good combos. So yeah. All right, moving on. The Great Waaagh detachment. So basically, this just makes it so you can take bajillion troops, but also way more elites. Okay, so bring the basic detachment of the Great Waaagh, or the Ghazghkull supplement. You can bring it's necessary 1 HQ 2 troops and 1 elite. Alright? But the reason you're taking this is probably because you want to spam elites anyway, so that's fine. Then you can take an additional 6 troops. So you can have 8 troops total. You can take another HQ, so 2 troops total. And then the elites, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elites. And then 3 fast attack and 3 heavy support. So again, 5 elites, having fun with this. It's great. It's great. Restrictions. Oh yeah, and you also get fortifications in a Lord of War. Restrictions are everyone has to have Orks faction. You get the biggest and the best, and the boss is watching. The whole change on the mob rule and stuff. Then you get the right boss for the plan. You get to reroll the Warlord Traits table. You know, pretty standard if it's your primary detachment and your warlords in it. And then you get teleported strike. So this is the fun part. This is the hilarious part, okay? So you're thinking, okay, mega knobs and trucks, that's great. Or you could just deep strike them. That's right. Teleporting strike is before deployment, roll a d6 for each non-flyer unit, adding +1 if you're a troop. On a result of a 6+, that unit has a deep strike special rule. So on a 5+, your troops have deep strike. On a 6+, the rest of your army has deep strike. You have no control. You have to do this. You don't have to deep strike, I guess. But you gained a deep strike special rule. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let me just verify in the rulebook. Yeah, so you don't have to deep strike, but it gives you the option, which is cool. It's fun times. I wish it would force you to, because that'd be more orky. But anyways, it gives you that option. And so again, getting some mega knobs, deep striking, just like being in the game, just from reserves. I mean, not beginning of the game, but you know, when they come in from reserves, it's just it could be really powerful. It could be very powerful. I like that idea. So that's that. That's basically the detachment and what you get. So, is it super special? No. Okay, cool. Some cool new gubbins and some fun new warlord traits there. But the real reason you get the supplement is for the formations, because the formations are their own detachments, right? And so you take this and remember, so a formation is you bring what's in the formation. You're not allowed to add anything at all to the formation. The formation is the formation in itself, separate. But then after the formation, you get all the points for that, figure out the points for that. Then you can bring a normal detachment, or you can bring, you know, the Waaagh Ghazghkull detachment, or the Ork Horde detachment, or the normal detachment, whatever it's called, I can't remember, or allied detachment, whatever, on top of the formations, or the formations go on top of the other ones, whatever. So it's kind of like a separate little like side army that goes along with your main army. Anyways, after that's been explained, Council of Waaagh. Oh my goodness, this formation is hilarious. Okay, first of all, you need Ghazghkull Thraka. Solid. You also need Mad Dog Grosnik. That's like 400 points right there. 405, I think. Wait, I think it's cheaper. So just less than 400. But still, so many points. 2 models. Then you need 2 war bosses. Okay? And you don't want to kit those guys up pretty good. Then you get a big mech. So 5 HQs. Then you get 1 unit of knobs, which are like mini HQs. And the only restriction is you have to have a Waaagh banner in the knobs. Okay? Now, special rules. You get, you know, the normal special rules, biggest and the best, and the boss is watching. But you get a boss mob, which means the knobs and the HQs are all 1 unit. And no independent character can join or leave that unit. So they're stuck. They're integrated to that unit. It's Council of the Waaagh. Man, Ghazghkull's like, this is my buddies, this is my Smasher boys, we're gonna go kill some people. No one's leaving, and no one's coming in. Because I don't want all of you. And this is what I got. And the rest of you do your thing, but this is my unit. Ghazghkull, he's hilarious. He's awesome. Alright? So, yeah, they also have a rule called Banner of the Great Waaagh. As long as the bearer of the Waaagh banner is still alive, everyone has Fearless special rule, and you get +1 weapon skill characteristic. They already got +1 weapon characteristic anyways, so whatever. I don't know why they had to explain that. But you do get Fearless. But Mad Dog Grotnik also grants Fearless, so it's like a failsafe. If one of them dies, your unit still has Fearless. So that's good. I'm pretty sure Ghazghkull is Fearless too. Maybe not. But if he doesn't... anyways, moving on. The real awesome part of the banner is all friendly units within the Ork faction within 12 inches reroll failed morale and pinning checks. So everyone around them, 12 inches, again, just have one little guy tapping within 12 inches. At the back of your unit, of course, so they don't get picked off. And you can just reroll all those morale and pinning checks, and so the mob rule doesn't screw you over. So it's fantastic. It's great, 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 great stuff. And then you have Ghazghkull's left nuts. It looks like left nuts, but it's Ghazghkull's lieutenants. It's the Ork way. Both Ork war bosses have +1 weapon skill. That means the necessary banner is also increasing their weapon skill +1. And so, a Ork war boss, you're looking at +2 weapon skill. That's pretty good. I like that a lot. Why can't I find a war boss in here? There he is. Yeah, so weapon skill 7. That's what I thought. I just want to 100% verify. Weapon skill 7 is really good. And then all the knobs are weapon skill 5, and it's just a nasty, nasty unit. So anyways, yeah, so you get +1 your war bosses, and then before each battle, before deployment, Ghazghkull, he has his own, he gets Prophet of the Waaagh Warlord Trade. Standard, okay? That's what he gets. He cannot choose anything else. He just gets Prophet of the Waaagh, which means, because he already has the Waaagh special rule, he can also call it Waaagh, that when he Waaghs, everyone that has There We Go gets Fearless. Which is fantastic for your army again. Because the Waaagh affects all other Ork units, even if you bring him in other detachments. So that's good. But also you get to roll for 2 additional Warlord traits for Ghazghkull from this supplement. So that's pretty good. So it's just this big massive. I mean, it's just a massive chunk of points out of your army, and then you have to bring like an own separate army, right, on the side. But it's just, I think it'd be so much fun to try to do. All I need is most of those models. I got the war bosses. Everyone has a bajillion war bosses because of Assault on Black Reach. But anyway, so that's that. Okay, I talked tons about that. Let's go to the next formation. Ghazghkull's Bully Boys. Alright, no Ghazghkull this time. You just get 3 units of Mega Knobs. They all have to have at least 5 models. And you get Fear. You get Fearless. Just amazing. And you all get +1 weapon skill. Alright? So all of a sudden you got all these Mega Knobs that are Fearless now, which is great. They cause fear, which can help them stay alive more and really screw over a lot of other units. And they're all weapon skill 5, so they're hitting on 3s most of the time with their buzzsaws or power clouds. You can upgrade them however you want, or put them in trucks or whatever. I really like this formation because it doesn't detract from the rest of your army. It kind of is like, well, I want to bring 3 units of Mega Knobs, but then my elite choices are gone. Or I just bring this formation in which, sure, I don't get the other benefits, like I don't get Hammer of Wrath, whoop-de-doo, on my charge if I roll 10 or more, but you get Fear and Fearless. It's amazing. And the 3 units of Mega Knobs, you can upgrade them however you want. So yeah, put them in trucks or whatever. And you have to at least include at least 5. So it's at least 15 Mega Knobs. That is a big investment. The Mega Knob kit's really expensive. But if you already have tons from before, or whatever, you can bring them in squads of 10, put them all in battle wagons as dedicated transporters. Whatever you want. But it's this own separate thing that doesn't detract from the rest of your army. It just uses up some points, but it just makes your Mega Knobs insanely amazing. So that's a cool formation. That's really useful. I like those kind of formations that are smaller, and kind of like have their own little role in the army. The Vulture Squad. Ooh. Oh, also, if you bring him with the Council of the Waaagh one, then Ghazghkull can Waaagh, and he gets his own special Waaagh and makes people do crazy things too. Alright, the Vulture Squad. So this is one that a lot of people have been talking about. You get Zagstruck, and you get 3 units of Storm Boys. Okay? You can make the Storm Boys any size or upgrades you want, doesn't matter at all. But you have to have boss extra. And then when you arrive, if you begin in reserves and you're deep striking, you only scatter D6. So that's amazing. So that's super, super good. Any Hammer of Wrath with the unit of boss Ghazghkull gains Shred. So reroll the wound. This is nice because you're hitting on strength 3. But still, rerolling the wound means it's just going to be a lot better. Over and over and over again. So that's pretty cool. And so all of a sudden Ghazghkull isn't so meh. So you can use them pretty good. And you can. You don't have to. But you can combine all 3 units into one big unit with Ghazghkull. So you could just take like 5 and then so you could take a squad of 30 or like 15, but then have 3 knobs with power claws in there. And Ghazghkull. Again, it's kind of small, so it can't be picked off, but that'll hit hard. Oh my goodness, it'll hit hard. And then you just add more Storm Boys to flesh it out. So that's cool. But if Ghazghkull can't leave the unit, makes sense. And if it's killed, then it counts as 3 victory points if you're counting victory points in that kind of scenario. So, you still can't assault off the deep strike. But you only scatter D6, that's cool, but you don't have to start in reserves. Yeah, so you can start on the table, so which is great. So you can bring them without having to be in reserves and all that kind of stuff, and you just run up the table and kill stuff. The only problem is you can't really take him as this. You don't want to take this as your primary detachment. Again, this is again sort of just a small little formation on the side in addition to your normal detachment. And then this means that he's not going to be your warlord. But that means you can bring a war boss and then Waaagh, and then they, when they can run 2d6 and then assault and do some crazy things. And I like it. On to my favorite one of this. It's the Blitz Brigade. The formation is 5 battle wagons. Maybe you didn't hear me right. 5 battle wagons. So every battle wagon in this formation must be upgraded to either a reinforced ram or a def roller. Judging how def rollers are terrible now, just reinforced ram. You want them anyways on your vehicles because then you can reroll the difficult terrain tests and just run around doing whatever you want. So you can't bring battle wagons as dedicated transports, but it doesn't matter, you can just bring them as normal transports and anyone can be embarked upon them. It's fine, okay? So your heavy support is full of whatever you want. Or it's free to be full of whatever you want, right? Because, yeah, 5 battle wagons! Alright? So, the main thing here is that you get Scout. Okay? Scout. That's right, Scout. So, 5 battle wagons with Scout. Now, the Scout special rule, I was reading it in this new 7th edition. Scout isn't you get a free move before you start. You get to redeploy within 6 inches if you're infantry or artillery or monstrous, whatever. But if you're a vehicle, you get to redeploy within 12 inches. So you deploy 12 inches. The game starts, or about to start, then you redeploy 12 inches, and you're 24 inches up the board. This is like the halfway mark. And then you go first. If you're going first, because you get to tell, right, scouts. And then you can't assault first turn. They made that clarified because they just destroy everybody. So any infantry units embarked upon the battle wagon in the formation cannot charge first turn if you made a scout redeployment. However, like, you can put like a bunch of burnas in there and like walk up and be in range of burning things, probably. Or I don't even know. You're just so much further up the board. It's just throw all your boys in there and you move up and hopefully they can't kill you. But you're just so far up. Or maybe to throw the boys behind. They're running. It just has so much potential. Throw a bunch of kill cannons on them and just like any marines out of cover or even in cover. They're just gonna get slaughtered because you're actually within a range of them now. And so it's just it just has so much potential and crazy awesomeness. You just need to collect 5 battle wagons. That's the big issue here. Anyways, it's hilarious. Moving on. The Dread Mob. You get 1 big mech, 1 pain boy, 2 Gorkanauts or Morkanauts or any other combination you want. One of those 2 or 2 of those. You have to bring 2 total. It can be either or though. 3 Death Dreads, which I have, and then 3 units of Killer Cannons. 3 units of kilocans, and the restriction is all the units of kilocans must include 3 models. So you can't bring, it's not at least 3 models or less than 3 models, it's just 3 models. And so, that's okay, I guess, whatever. But the cool things is that you get Wall of Steel, which is everyone in the formation that had with the Hammer of Wrath special rule inflict D3 hits instead of just the 1 on Hammer of Wrath hits. And I don't know if you know this, but walkers in 7th edition get Hammer of Wrath base. So you're charging in with all those kilocans and Death Dreads and Gorkanauts and Morkanauts, and all of a sudden your Hammer of Wrath is D3 per model. This is pretty good. Pretty good. Thumbs up for that. And again, it's pretty big investment because again, big mech plus Pain Boy plus 2 Gorkanauts. That's a huge chunk of your army. So this is more of an investment. You're building your army around this one more than you're just adding on the side of your army like a couple others. But the big mech does not force the custom force field, so you can take the super custom force field, which gives the 4+ cover. So that's super good. And then you just kind of use it. You also have the Ere We Go special rule, and it just kind of reiterates the Ere We Go. Although unless it gives Ere We Go to all the models, that might be what it's explaining. That would make him really good. Yeah, I guess it gives that. So, yeah, so better than I thought. As I read it the second time, it gets more clear. Everyone gets Ere We Go. So you get the reroll charge ranges. So Hammer of Wrath even better. So Dread Mob. Dread Mob is back in action. It's legit. And I think plausible. I think very plausible. Especially with that special item that gives you the 4+ cover. Or 4+ invuln against shooting attacks. And then when you get into combat, well, we all know Dreads and Kilocans and Morkanauts and Gorkanauts massacre stuff in combat. I don't know why you bring a Pain Boy, though. Why is a Pain Boy in there? The only guy you can feel no pain to is the big mech. I don't understand. I guess it gives you a free Pain Boy, so when you're bringing another side detachment, you don't have to worry about it. But I don't understand the Pain Boy in there. Whatever. On the last one, we have Boss Snickrots, Red Skull Commandos. Alright, you get Boss Snickrot and 4 units of Commandos. 4. It's a lot. So this is a bigger investment as well. I mean, you could bring min units, so that's okay. But Sneaky Gits, this is a special rule. So Snickrot has to join one of the units in the formation. That makes sense. And everyone has to be in reserves. But when rolling for reserves, you roll 1 reserve roll for everybody. So that's fantastic. So Coordinated Strike coming on. And when you come on, you follow Snickrot's rule, you can come in wherever you want. No roll necessary, but everyone has to come in from the same board edge. So that's great. And then, if you don't shoot, if you're not really near anything, not worth shooting, then you get +1 to your cover save. Plus, you get Shrouded, special rule, the turn you arrive. Because normally you have Stealth. And so Strike from the Shadows, another special rule, you get Shrouded. So you're getting +3 to your cover save. You can like come in, +3 to your cover save, most likely survive, right? Because you have a 4-up cover. If you're in any kind of cover or terrain, then you have like a 1-up or a 2-up cover, or a 2-up or a 3-up cover. We're not playing fantasy here, no 1-ups. But yeah, so they're all of a sudden really, really survivable. And if they charge you get in combat, it's fine. Whatever, you're meant to get in combat anyways. They might have some burners in there, some good Overwatch. And the burners that the Commandos can use can also now, you know, do the AP3 hits. So just, better. Commandos, good. And they're cheap, man. So this just makes me want to take Commandos. So that's really cool too. Oh, and we have one more formation. Okay, Green Tide. 1 more boss and 10 units of boys. So if you bring all min units, you have 100 boys and 1 more boss. Everyone has to be on foot, so you can't upgrade any dedicated transports or war boss on a bike or anything like that. But if you kill the full Green Tide, you get 11 victory points. So much. But you get the Hammer of Wrath you get Warlord Horde rules. So you get the Hammer of Wrath special move, whatever, and you also get Stampede. So if you bring this as your primary detachment with the War Boss, then you get the Waaagh every turn after the first. So that's super cool. So this kind of opens up is that you get that big formation, but you're not fearless, which is really strange to me. You could always just bring, at that point, you might as well bring Mad Dog Grotznik and then in another detachment and then throw them in, and then you get the fearless and feel no pain on everybody. And all of a sudden Green Tide is a legit thing and a normal Battleforge game. It's a lot of boys. It's not that many boys. Because you can just take min units of 10. And that means that you can upgrade a knob in every single unit of boys. You can have a whole lot of characters and a whole lot of power claws in there. Like, it'll eat anything. It just needs to get to it and it just eats it. And again, putting that feel no pain on them, super good. And making them fearless, obviously, because you don't want to be constantly taking tests and not failing, but, you know, killing different stuff. Because you'll only be leadership 9 still from the War Boss. But yeah, you don't want to risk failing any kind of leadership roles because they're going to try to pin you in crazy and abuse the mob rule as much as possible. So you bring in, make them fearless. Mad Dog. That's how I would take it. It's like an automatic do that. As for how many knobs you want to include in there, again, it's totally up to you depending on what you're fighting. You probably only need a couple, mostly, and then. Even just to eat challenges. You just upgrade them 10-point knobs to eat challenges. They're better. First of all, they're good boys. Better boys. And then you don't have to waste tons of points on power claws or big choppers or whatever. I mean, you could. But you don't need to. It's 10 points. It's better than like the whole mech thing. Putting it for it's just upgrade knobs. And you have all these characters for challenges. And so your War Boss will never be picked out by a challenge. And good times. Right? It's a great formation. It's honestly not even going to take that many points out of your normal detachment. Because boys are units 6 points each. So bring 100, 600 points, and your War Boss will probably cost around 120. So over 720, it's not even half your army. I mean you're required to take more troops if you take another detachment. Unless you take, like, the Mega Knobs formation as well. And I don't know, it's just open. This opens so much more strategy and list building craziness to this. And so again, the price point's kind of silly, but the supplement, all these formation makes this army, these boys, we got a chance. We got some fun. We can do some great things. Some great things. And so that's my thoughts on that. Things that I'm really looking forward to see on the table is the Dread Mob, because those have always been fun to play, but just really hard to justify in 6th and 7th edition. So that's kind of cool again. Blitz Brigade, again, it's just silly, but whatever. But also just Ghazghkull's Bully Boys. If you have those Mega Knobs, that's just the perfect formation to take because it doesn't cost any more points. You're going to bring them anyways. Normally you don't bring them in squads of 5. You usually squads of 3 to 4 just because you don't need so many. But squads of 5, okay, you add one more, who cares? If you're going to get Fear and Fearless, well worth it. And again, you just throw them in trucks on the first turn, you just move and you move all out and you're in their face and then just see if they can kill you. If not, well then you're going to kill them. Because you can't pin them, you can't make them flee, whatever, because they're fearless. Again, fearless, super powerful. And it's just, heck, all the formations are really good. Even just the detachment is pretty decent, just because it allows for those more elites to be added in. You don't even have to bring that. And the new weapons, it's just, I don't know. When you add everything together, people were like, oh, it's so much better if you add this supplement. I'm like, yeah, whatever, but it really is. It really is. So I recommend buying it, finding it, by buying it. Yep. And just have fun. Go smash some Umis. Okay, that is all. Peace out.